Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview, June 16th on a Thursday, 2016. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, please come visit our website at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Traders, quite a busy day, I would have to say, on a Wednesday. We had the FOMC spoke, so things are happening and the markets expected what the Fed said, and the markets didn't like it too much, but it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be. So we'll get to that in just a moment. Traders, we do have 6 currency pairs we're going to take a look at, charts, analysis, and commentary. And then we'll move into, and we'll talk about some news and some data, what's coming out and what has been already out. So it's quite a busy day in Asia today. All right, traders, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gill. I'm your moderator for the market opening preview series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I started trading Forex in the year of 2006, and in 2008 I retired from a wonderful 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida. Traders, 9 days later, I came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday. Well, I'm in my 9th year in Asia and absolutely loving it. Traders, it's just a great time zone also. I don't have to be up all night long. I'm basically by 10:30, I'm pretty much done for my trading day. I start at 5:30 in the morning, get ready for Asia. I trade London, and then I trade about 2.5 hours of New York. So my day is quite busy, and my trading style is I'm a pullback trader. I like to see price action make the move on a currency pair, and I like to see it give me a pullback. And I use my Fibonacci tool quite a bit to find out levels and, price action, price structure, all that stuff is so important when we talk about that, as I'm a technician and I just really like analyzing charts. However, we got to listen to fundamentals today. You got to be aware of what's going on. You need to know what's coming out, what's been out, and what we can expect. As we know, this next week, a week from today, we have Brexit and the UK referendum. It doesn't look like they're going to leave. It looks like they're going to stay. Just what I can see from what I see on the news and what I've read, it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. But we'll see. You never know. So what I do, traders, is I take my fundamentals and I take my technicals and I put them together. And, I come up with a trade plan. And once I put a trade plan together, I activate my trade plan, and price is either going to come to my entry or it's not. If it doesn't, we just move on to the next currency pair, right? And as many trade plans as I have for that day, that's what I have. If I don't get a trade, I don't get a trade. We can always trade the next day. There's 41 currency pairs we can trade, so we have plenty of opportunities and 3 different sessions. And I do treat each session differently, by the way. All right, so that's just a little bit about my trading. Let's get the legal stuff out of the way. This is our risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex market. Traders, remember, capital preservation is the name of the game, and you need to have capital in order to trade the next day. So please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's head over to news and commentary. We'll take a look at the markets. The markets all closed in the red again. I think we're on trading day 5, where the U.S. markets have closed in the red. The Dow 30 closed negative 0.20%. The S&P 500 closed negative 0.18%. And the NASDAQ closed negative 0.18%. The small cap 2000 closed negative 0.08%. Coming over to the Eurozone, they looked like they were all in the green yesterday. The DAX closed positive 0.92%. The FTSE 100 out of London closed positive 0.73%. The CAC 40 out of Paris closed positive 1%. And the Eurostoxx 50 closed positive 1.34%. Traders, let's head on over to Asia. Let's take a look at what's going on. Some of these countries are not trading. I'll let you know which ones they are. The Nikkei 225, however, is currently trading, and it's negative 0.62%. The S&P ASX 200 of Australia is currently trading, and they are positive 0.75%. China A50 is not open yet. They got about 45 minutes, and they closed yesterday positive 0.42%. And the Hang Seng out of Hong Kong is also not open yet, and they closed yesterday positive 0.39%. However, the Kospi out of Seoul is currently trading, and they are positive at 0.14%. Traders, let's take a look at the economic calendar. Quite a full day today in the economic calendar through all 3 trading sessions, so just keep an eye on that. New Zealand had GDP today, and it came out as a good number, 0.7%. Consensus forecast was 0.5%. That came at the opening of the Asia session today. Governor BOC Governor Pulitz spoke today, and I have not had a rundown of what he said, but that was early in the Asian session. However, in about 45 minutes, we have unemployment change out of the Aussie, so that will be quite a big event. And then we have interest rate decision out of Japan, and then they'll have a monetary policy statement, and then a BOJ press conference. So quite a busy morning in Asia. Okay, so Asia's gonna be quite busy. And then once we get into the Euro London session, we have interest rate decision out of the Swiss. We have ECB economic bulletin coming out. We got retail sales out of the Great British Pound. Like I said, quite an active day today as far as data comes out. Then we have the Euro has CPI year on year today, and the Great British Pound has BOE MPC vote unchanged for June. And they also have an interest rate decision for June today out of the Great British Pound. So, like I said, just quite a busy day. And then in the U.S. session, we have core CPI month on month for the month of May. And that looks like that's going to wrap it up. But we do have the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index also in the U.S. session. So, like I said, traders, we have quite a very full day today in reference to data, which will move the markets, and it's going to be a great trading day. So my commentary is no big surprise out of the Fed. We weren't expecting a rate hike, and it looks like there's not going to be a rate hike for some time. It looks like it's just going to stay where it's at, and they're really not going to do anything. That's how I read it, and it looks like I'd be surprised if we even have one more before the end of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually goes into 2017. So now that that's clear, and FOMC Chair Yellen made it pretty clear, and that's good because now it takes all the fears off. Now the biggest thing now is Brexit, the UK referendum vote a week from today, and oil has taken a little dip down to $48. Gold is up to almost $1,300 an ounce, and so oil is down, gold is up. FOMC is not doing any rate hikes, and the big news is Brexit, and it doesn't look like they're going to leave, from what I can read and what I can see. So everything's pretty much heading back to somewhat of a normal trading scenario. So let's take a look at some currency pairs. Here's the euro dollar. Now this bounced up yesterday. Of course, you expect that because they did not raise interest rate hikes, and also out of the U.S. and also doesn't look like they're going to do it in the near future. So of course the dollar got weak, and there went the euro up and shot up all the way to almost 12.90. So I'm just waiting for this to break this 200 exponential moving average. We can get in this at 1.1255, and we can get out at 1.1193, and we could take this down. Now, I think we're going to get some sort of a problem at the daily pivot point, because that's going to be that 1250 area, and then we're going to have a problem at the 55 EMA. So it's not going to be an easy trade to sell this, but I surely do not want to buy the euro dollar. So the patience is going to be the key to this trade, and it might not happen till late in the European session, more like London lunch. We'll probably maybe get into this trade. I don't think we're going to be able to get into it right away. But we got to be careful. There's a lot of data coming out of the Eurozone today, so we got to be careful with that. Let's take a look at the pound. The pound really hasn't done anything, folks. This is the same slide as yesterday. It's just absolutely sideways. There's nothing going on. However, like I said, they have a lot of data coming out today, so it might rattle the boat a little bit. We might get some price action. We can finally sell this. Remember, I'm bearish on this. I really want this to come back up to that green line, which is a 200 exponential moving average, and we want to get out above 4,100, like 4,110, 4,115. We'll get out of this, and it's a nice down trade on the pound dollar. However, I stay with my statement that I made every day, and that is I'm not touching any pound pairs until after the UK referendum vote. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie. The Aussie just had a little bump to the upside, nothing really big. And I'm sure that was, one to do with oil, the other to do with gold, and the other to do with the FOMC statement. So I want to sell the Aussie dollar. I'm bearish on the Aussie dollar. I've been for a long time. So I'm waiting for this to basically break to the downside and give me a retest of that 200 exponential moving average, and we can get in at 0.7384, and we can get out at 0.7333. So it's a nice 55 pip trade if we can get this to work. Okay, and again, patience is the key. If you look at that 10 EMA, right under price, right? So it's, we got some issues here. The 55 is pointing to the upside. The 200 EMA is tilted a little bit to the upside. So we have some issues on this pair. And we'll just have to be patient. Let's take a look at the Euro Aussie. It is one of my favorite pairs to trade. I trend lined this trade. My trade plans are really on this trend line. I want to see it break the trend line, retest it, and we're going to sell this at 1.5199, and we'll get out at 1.5141. This is a really easy trade plan. We're bearish in the Euro Aussie. We have been for a long time, and we just need price to just work with us and give us our trade entry. And we're just not going to rush it. We'll just wait for this to happen. I think this is a really nice trade that will probably work, and we will probably get an entry today on this one. Let's take a look at the Euro Yen. The Euro Yen has really done nothing. It's been sideways. This is the same slide as yesterday. We're just waiting for this to come up to resistance or break or do something. It hasn't done anything, my friends. It's just sideways. So there's not a lot to do here. We're just going to wait for this. However, my bias is to sell this. So I want this to come back up to the 119.50 area, and we'll sell it, and we'll get out at 118.57. So this is an 85 pip trade if this trade comes and works out. However, we're not going to do anything in this sideways price action. It's got to break one way or the other, right? All right, and the last one is the New Zealand dollar. Traders, this moved up, and that was because they had some really good data come out, like I told you earlier. And so this had a nice big blue candle, and I like where it stopped. Where did it stop? It stopped at the R1 pivot point, and that's at 0.7073. We want to sell this here. This is at a great spot. It's at resistance. It's at a pivot point. We can sell this and take it all the way down to the 200 exponential moving average at 0.7027. So this is a nice 50 pip trade. Now we just got to wait for our entry, and really you can enter it now. It's at a great price. We've got bearish candles. We got a doji in this, two dojis, and the current candle that is still in operation. So yeah, this is a nice sell trade on the New Zealand dollar, and I'm looking to take that probably at the London Open. Okay. All right, traders, that wraps it up today. Those are our 6 currency pairs. Great to be with you. On behalf of myself, William Gilda, and our great friends at FXCL, Excellence in Trading. Again, traders, please come visit our website at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Traders, thanks again for being with me on a Thursday, June 16th, 2016. Traders, like we say every day, always remember to trade smart and not hard. Traders, we'll see in about 24 hours, and keep an eye on the Asian session. We have a lot of data coming out today. Take care, traders. Talk to you soon.